Hi guys. Welcome. How are you? The Architect of Silence. Episode 8. The Race Against Time. The Desperate Drive. Elias was on the highway, driving toward the remote safe house he had rented for Chloe. The drive was a nightmare of agonizing traffic and mounting fear. Marcus was loose, cornered, and convinced that destroying Chloe was his last act of revenge against Elias. He called Chloe on the burner. No answer. He called Leo. Elias. Leo, I need a live feed. Get into the security cameras of the Maplewood safe house, 2 miles outside the city limit. Marcus Thorne is heading there now. I need eyes on him. Leo, working frantically, got a shaky feed of the quiet, wooded property. Her voice tense. I see his car, Elias. Black SUV. He just parked down the road and is approaching the house on foot. He's wearing a mask. Elias. Is Chloe there? Can you see her? Oh. I see movement inside. She's locking the doors. She knows he's coming. Elias, you're still 20 minutes away. You won't make it. The architect's intervention. Elias couldn't reach her physically, but he could use the one advantage Marcus didn't have: digital control. He directed Leo to hack into the local infrastructure control system. Elias. Leo, listen to me. There is a major intersection half a mile from the safe house. I need you to reset the traffic lights to create a 3-way total lockup. Now. Leo. That's illegal, Elias. It'll cause a 5-car pileup. Elias. It's a temporary traffic control issue. Do it now. Slow him down. Leo reluctantly executed the command. Traffic immediately jammed the intersection leading to the safe house, but Marcus was already on foot. The delay was minimal. Elias needed a closer target. He directed Leo to the safe house's utilities. Elias. Leo, can you access the main power grid for that block? Leo. I can trip the local circuit breaker, but she'll lose power too. Elias. Do it. Well, he won't attack in the dark if he thinks he's compromised. And I want him to know I'm watching. The power snapped off. The safe house and the entire block went silent and dark. The confrontation. On Leo's live feed, Marcus stopped dead in his tracks on the lawn. The sudden, total blackout made him paranoid. He pulled out his phone, shining the light around wildly. Chloe, using the moment of darkness, slipped out the back door and ran toward the woods. Marcus saw her movement. He shouted her name and chased her into the dense foliage. Elias was now 10 minutes away. He knew the woods behind the safe house intimately. He had designed the security perimeter for the original owner. He knew the path. Elias to Leo. There's a dry riverbed 500 meters into the woods. Leads to the main highway. Guide her to the riverbed, Leo. Talk her through the woods. Use the burner phone. Leo quickly called Chloe. His voice panicked but steady, directing her through the twisting dark woods, guiding her toward the riverbed. Elias finally reached the blocked intersection, driving his SUV onto the pavement, ignoring the blaring horns. The physical struggle, cliffhanger. Elias parked his car and sprinted into the woods, following Leo's frantic updates. He reached the riverbed just as Marcus tackled Chloe to the ground. Marcus, shouting, breath ragged, "You won't get away. You're the traitor. You'll pay for what you did to my father." Chloe fought back fiercely, kicking and scratching. Elias rushed forward and slammed into Marcus, sending him sprawling. Marcus got up, his eyes wide with maniacal hatred, recognizing Elias despite the dark. Marcus. The architect. You're here. You're finished, Elias. I'm going to ruin you. Marcus swung a punch. Elias ducked, the adrenaline clearing his mind. He wasn't a fighter, he was a strategist. He didn't want to fight. He wanted to delay. Elias grabbed a heavy, loose rock from the riverbed and smashed it against Marcus's knee. Marcus screamed, clutching his leg, collapsing onto the ground in agony. Elias, to Chloe, run. Get to the highway. Chloe, bruised but unharmed, scrambled to her feet and ran. Elias grabbed Marcus's wallet and keys from his pocket. Elias. You're done, Marcus. The Thorne dynasty is over. And you won't be chasing anyone tonight. Ch. Elias throws Marcus's keys into the deep, dark water of the riverbed. He turns and runs after Chloe, leaving Marcus screaming his hate-filled threats into the empty darkness of the woods. The digital war has finally become a physical reality. The safe haven. The reckoning. Elias found Chloe waiting for him by the highway. She was shaken, bruised, but alive. He quickly drove them far away from the city, to a remote cabin he owned in the mountains. A true, untraceable safe haven. Inside the cabin, Chloe finally broke down. She was sobbing, shaking, reliving the moment Marcus hit her. Elias. It's over, Chloe. He's cornered. He's injured. Can't follow us. You're safe. Hey. He knew, Elias. He knew everything. He saw the hatred in my eyes. I endangered you. I should have left 5 years ago. Elias. You stayed because you're a fighter. You stayed because you knew the truth mattered more than your fear. You delivered the single most crucial piece of evidence to me. You are the reason Arthur is in custody and Marcus is paralyzed. He gently tended to the bruise on her cheek, his touch hesitant but firm. The physical contact was an electric shock, spanning 5 years of unspoken pain and anger. Hey. I still hate myself for that night, Elias. I knew what they were doing to you, and I kept quiet because I was a coward. Elias. And I hated you for 5 years because I thought you chose the golden boy over integrity. We were both wrong. We both survived a sociopath. Let's start with that truth. The shared trauma and the confession finally allowed the wall between them to collapse. They held each other, not out of romance, but out of necessity. Two soldiers who had just survived a terrible battle. The siphoned secrets. The next morning, the calm of the cabin allowed Elias to fully analyze the data siphon he had risked his life for during the penthouse break-in. The files contained everything. Marcus's personal offshore accounts, detailed plans for moving assets out of the country, and more importantly, evidence of money laundering tied to a Russian construction firm, a firm that was involved in the Olympus Tower financing. Elias to Chloe. This is the kill shot, Chloe. Tax fraud puts him in jail. Money laundering puts him away forever. And it proves the Olympus Tower was designed to be a shell for illegal capital, not a building. Chloe. That Russian firm. They were the only ones who didn't blink when Marcus insisted on the low penalty clauses. They wanted the project to fail so they could seize the assets. Elias. Exactly. Marcus wasn't just stealing, he was colluding. Now, we use this evidence to ensure the federal authorities seize the entire company under RICO statutes, the organized crime statutes. That's the only way to ensure the Thorne family loses everything, including the name. The new target, Sarah. The calm was interrupted by a desperate call from Sarah Vane, their first direct conversation since her press conference. Sarah, voice frantic, Elias, they're coming for me. The auditors are questioning my involvement in the structural cover-up. Marcus gave a statement from the hospital, claiming I was in charge of the original construction oversight with him. He's throwing me under the bus. Elias. He's desperate, Sarah. He knows you're the whistleblower. You need to prove you were never involved in the technical decisions. Sarah, I don't have the technical documents. I only have the final signed statements. They have my emails saying I supported the new direction. Elias, I can help you, Sarah, but this is the final deal. You give me the digital key to every single one of your personal Thorne Group financial accounts, your entire net worth. You transfer it all to an escrow account outside of the Thorne Group's control. If the company is seized, that money is protected. You get to keep your money and your freedom, but you must completely sever all financial ties to the Thorne Group. Do you accept? Sarah was silent for a long moment, wrestling with the loss of control versus the threat of prison. Sarah, I accept. Send me the coordinates for the escrow account. You get the money and I get the shield. The final deliveries, cliffhanger. Elias now had two things: the full federal-level evidence of Marcus's criminal conspiracy and Sarah's entire financial history, a guarantee that she couldn't fund Marcus's legal defense. Elias sent the money laundering files to the highest levels of the FBI. The file was labeled Rico Case, Olympus Tower. He then called his former engineer, Ben. Elias to Ben. I need you to contact the structural audit team that Sarah called in. Tell them to subpoena all original design schematics for the Olympus Tower. Tell them I suspect the digital files were doctored to hide the fact that Marcus reused flawed, substandard materials from the Azure Spire on the new tower. The implication was clear. Marcus didn't just cut costs. He committed fraud by reusing dangerous materials. This ensured the structural investigation would continue and provide the legal basis for the seizure. Elias hangs up the phone, looking at Chloe. It's done. The entire structure is compromised. Financially, legally, and structurally. We just wait for the government to drop the hammer. The silence of the cabin is heavy with the immense power he has just unleashed.